Okay, this might sting a little. You have been chasing a finish line that doesn't exist. And the part that makes that so hard, nobody told you. In fact, everyone around you has been cheering you on the whole way there. Today, we're talking about the achievement trap, what it is, why it works so well on people like you and me, and what it actually costs you. Hi, welcome back inward. I'm Katie. I can't believe this is our 10th episode of the podcast already. That is just completely wild to me. It took so much time and effort to get this off the ground, and now we're already 10 episodes in. I hope that you've been finding value in it and feel like you are a part of something, because you are. This is a community and a space just for you. I just got back from Costa Rica on vacation with my family. We've been going down there for over 20 years, and it's always been a super magical place to me. I've always been very drawn to Costa Rica. And once I get there, it's hard to make me want to leave. I really started thinking about that on this trip. What is it that makes that place so magnetic and magical and special? And one could say it's the rainforest, the mountains, the ocean, the black sand beaches, the sunset, all of the amazing animals that you get to see when you're there, the trees. And yes, it is all of those things. But it's much more than that. The saying in Costa Rica is pura vida. Pura vida, that's how they say it. Pure life. To live the Pura Vida lifestyle means to approach life with simplicity, gratitude, and ease. It's the people, the energy in which they live. This clarity made me think and contemplate how differently we live our lives in this country. Some would say it's quite the opposite of simplicity, gratitude, and ease. This is purely a statement of awareness, not judgment, just awareness. This led me to think about how caught up we get in what we do, how much we do, and how much we achieve over who we are and how we feel. Here's what I meant when I say the achievement trap. It's not that achievement is bad. It's not that ambition is a character flaw. I want to be really clear about that because I think a lot of high achievers here slow down, or you're chasing the wrong things, and they feel judged, like their drive is something to be ashamed of. And it's not. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. Somewhere along the way, most of us were handed a framework by our families, our schools, our entire culture that told us that who we are is directly tied to what we achieve. Get good grades. Get the right job, earn the right amount of money, be seen as successful. And if you do all of that, you'll feel okay. You'll feel worthy. You'll feel like enough. So we do the work. We hit the milestones. And then we set a new one because the feeling we were promised never quite arrived the way that we thought it would. That's the trap. Not the achieving itself, but the belief underneath it, that your worth lives in your output. As I mentioned before, I'm also in real estate. In real estate, you are only as good as your output. The first question that any brokerage will ask you is what your volume is, how many transactions you did last year. I promised myself that I would lose that mindset in doing this podcast. It's not about the numbers or the views or the performance. It's about impact. That's why I'm doing this, for impact, for people, to help people. Keeping this in mind, if only one person gets something from this, I will be fulfilled from it. The first time I had heard this idea of achievement presented to me in this way was at a real estate conference. The keynote speaker that week was Sean Icor. Sean is a researcher of happiness. He's written several books on this. He specifically works with companies on how to help their employees feel happier and in return perform better. At that conference, he spoke about how we are always chasing something. He explained it like, imagine you are on a football field. You are aiming for the goalpost, trying to reach something each time. When I get married, I'll reach the goalpost and be happy. When I get the job, I'll reach it and be happy. When I have the baby, certainly then I'll be happy. But each time you move the goalpost again and again and again, never reaching it. Because happiness isn't about achieving something, reaching something. Now, here's the thing that makes this particularly insidious for high achievers specifically. You're good at this. You are genuinely, exceptionally good at achieving things, which means the system rewards you. People validate you. You get the promotion, you get the praise, you get the external confirmation that yes, this is the right path. So of course you stay on it. Why wouldn't you? But what's happening underneath, and this is the part I want you to really sit with, is that every time you achieve something and feel that brief hit of satisfaction, your brain is learning. And what it's learning is the next thing will give me more. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill, the idea that we adapt, that the things we thought would make us happy, permanently, genuinely happy, just become the new baseline. You get the raise, great. Now you need a bigger raise. You get the title, amazing. Now you want the next one. You build the house, wonderful. Now it's not quite big enough. And listen, this is not a personal failing. This is human psychology. But for high achievers, it runs on overdrive because you're also really, really good at getting the next thing. So the treadmill just keeps going faster and faster. This is what the people of Costa Rica have mastered: contentment. They never got on the treadmill. I spoke with 3 different individuals with intention on my trip. All 3 of them, I asked, are you happy? They all responded with yes. And they didn't just say yes. They all told me why. The commonality in their answers was contentment. They aren't reaching, searching for the next thing, bigger thing, higher achievement. One of the people I talked to was a surf instructor. He explained to me in such a beautiful way why he's happy when I asked. He lives right on the beach and surfs every day. He said, so many people are searching for the ocean, but I found it, and I live right here. You could hear the gratitude in his voice. Another conversation that I had showed beautiful perspective. I had already talked to this gentleman about his happiness. He said that he learned that it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about you, but yourself. He said that he had so many opportunities to work a higher paying job, but his happiness means so much more to him than that money. He understands the purpose of life and that it does not lie in your needing to feel significant. He said, see how big this ocean is? We are so small compared to it. You can have the biggest boat out here, and you are still so small compared to the ocean. When we are constantly trying to achieve the next thing, always reaching for the next branch, we are never content with the size of our boat. And I want to talk to you about what this costs you, because I don't think we name it enough. The achievement trap doesn't just leave you feeling empty. It disconnects you from yourself, from the people you love, from any real sense of who you are outside of what you do. When was the last time you did something with no outcome attached to it? No goal, no result, no way to measure whether it was worth your time. When was the last time you sat with yourself, just you, no agenda, and didn't immediately feel restless? For a lot of high achievers, that stillness feels almost unbearable because when things get quiet, the questions get louder. Am I actually happy? Is this the life I chose or the life I fell into? Who am I when I'm not being productive? Those are not comfortable questions. And so we keep moving, we keep achieving, we stay busy enough that we don't have to answer them, but they don't go away. Before we go further, if this is landing for you and you're nodding along and thinking, yeah, this is me, I'd love for you to subscribe to Inward so you don't miss what's coming next. I release new episodes every week and we go deep on exactly this kind of work. Okay, let's keep going. So how do you know if you're caught in the achievement trap? Because sometimes it's not obvious. Sometimes it looks like drive, like ambition, like being a high performer. Here are some of the signs I see most often in people that I work with. The first one is you feel most like yourself when you're working towards something. When there's no goal on the horizon, you feel anxious or flat or like something's wrong. The absence of striving feels like failure to you. The second one is you struggle to celebrate your wins. You hit the goal and immediately move the goalposts or minimize what you've done. Anyone could have done that. It wasn't that hard. There's still so much more to do. I totally resonate with that. The almost moment that I crossed the finish line on my very first marathon last year, I thought to myself, I can't wait to do another one to improve my time. So I feel that. The third one is your sense of self-worth fluctuates with your performance. A bad week at work bleeds into how you feel about yourself as a person. A setback doesn't just feel disappointing, it feels like an indictment of who you are. And the fourth is, this one's really important. You find it so hard to be present, even in the moments that are supposed to be good, on holiday, with your family, at the dinner table. There's a part of you that's always somewhere else, planning, strategizing, thinking about what comes next. You're there. You're not here. Does any of that sound familiar? It definitely does for me. This is the way that I used to live. I felt so guilty when I wasn't being productive in some way. It's taken me years to learn how to be present, slow down, learn how to be, not do. Now, I want to be careful here because I don't want to give you a 5-step system. That would be ironic, wouldn't it? Given everything we just talked about. The way out of the achievement trap is not another framework to execute. It's not a productivity hack, a morning routine, or any type of goal setting method. It's something a lot harder than that. It's learning to turn inward. And what I mean by that is starting to ask different questions. Not, what do I need to achieve next? But what do I actually want? Not, what does success look like? But what does contentment feel like? These are not questions most of us were ever taught to ask. We were taught to look outward at metrics, at benchmarks, at what other people are doing and what the world tells us that we should want. Turning inward means getting curious about yourself, about what lights you up when nobody's watching, and what you value, not because it looks good, but because it genuinely matters to you, and who you are when you strip away the titles, the roles, the achievements. Here's a question I want to leave you with, and I really want you to sit with this. Don't just answer it quickly. If nothing in your external life changed, same job, same income, same status, what would you need to feel genuinely fulfilled? Not satisfied, not fine, genuinely fulfilled. Most people have never asked themselves that, or they've asked it and the answer scared the hell out of them. That's okay. That fear is information. It's worth listening to. The achievement trap is not a character flaw. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's what happens when incredibly capable people follow a map that was never drawn for them. But the good news is you can draw a new one, not by achieving less, but by being more intentional about why you're achieving and who you're becoming in the process. That's the work. And it starts by turning inward. And if you want to go deeper on this work, I'd love to see you back here next week. New episode, same invitation to turn inward and reconnect with who you actually are. Because who you are matters. How you feel matters. And how you show up matters. At the chance of sounding redundant, I'm going to say it again, just like I have before. Life is today only. Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow may never come. So what the hell are you waiting for? What are you achieving all of this for if you are not happy? Because at the end of the day, you are still just a small boat on an endless ocean. So quit worrying about how big your boat is and just enjoy the fucking ride. Until next time, I'm Katie Edmonds. Keep going inward.